You've absolutely got to be kidding me. This Johnathan Swift, this Judge Johnathan Swift, Sir Johnathan Mark Swift. You cannot be serious. I cannot take these people seriously, right? So this judge, he's been all the way up through colleges and entering the bar, being a solicitor at the Inner Temple, practice at King's Bench Walk, took Silk 2010, being appointed a deputy judge. I've just caught one of the deputy judges who was still practicing as a solicitor when it's meant to be forbidden because of conflict of interest. The reason why it's forbidden is conflict of interest. That's the reason. Why would you want people who are judges to also be solicitors representing cases? Because some people can bring cases that have a purpose or an intention to get a certain order out of them when you're on the other side who's meant to be impartial. That means that you can manipulate the system in order to get certain judgments that take precedence over other cases. You're controlling a monopoly on the system. So this guy, I've heard of him before, Swift. He sat on this whole Rwanda flight issue, this whole Rwanda issue that's still going onwards, that Professor Tim Wilson is still banging on about Rwanda, right? It's ongoing issues with it. He's also the guy who ruled in favour of the UK government against Assange. And Assange has been held to none we will deny and to none we will delay right or justice. Okay? And Assange has had all his rights delayed. Even petitions aren't being actioned or answered. I mean, even the Prime Minister of Australia is calling for Assange to be returned home. This guy, I mean, and then last year, apparently, it was last year, he's approved the go-ahead for Sadiq Khan's ULEZ scheme, for the whole ULEZ scheme, right? And his wording on it, I think he knew very well about ancient rights and privileges of London and the fact that you can't have tolls within London. And I think he knows about those Magna Carta rights. He knows about those rights. I don't think they were specifically brought up in the case, but apparently he said, they can see no problem with the ULEZ charge zone, right? Now, it's 2002 well, it's not that long ago, really. It's in the year 2000s. That's when they brought that congestion charge in. And not a lot of people were that active online. I was active online and there were forums and groups, but nothing like the kind of information and communication online there is now. So I just don't, and people were getting fed all the main TV programmes, just told what they're told by the BBC, told what they're told by the ITV, people not scrutinising things like they are now, like Russell Brand, Jimmy Dore, on all these groups who have got some independent opinion power in broadcasting. And I don't think anyone will have really been suspicious or thought. People would have probably complained about the ancient rights of London, but I don't think that it will have got any publicity or airtime or concern. I don't even know why Blair would do that. I'm not too sure if Tony Blair really properly, fully, truly understood what he was doing, and if he did, he's a traitor. It says in the law, if you act against statutes, and if you intend to try and get them changed or repealed with existing ancient rights and privileges, you're a traitor to England. You're a traitor to England. Now, this guy denied Julian Assange's rights, and now we've got Jeremy Johnson KC bumbling on with it now, right? This guy This man has been appointed, rewarded. He's been rewarded and awarded, and he's been given a knighthood of the realm. This man, he's meant to be an honorary citizen, someone who you can admire and respect and look up to, right? He's meant to have achieved the highest ranks of society, yet his career has been in not upholding the law, actually denying law and rights, major law which cannot be overridden by a justice of the peace, of a justice of the court, doesn't have the power to override it. A statutory instrument made by a minister doesn't have the power or authority to override it. Nor the king, right? This guy, this man, look at this guy. This man is, in the history of England, he is a traitor and a criminal to the public, a traitorous, treasonous man. The highest crime. This is worse than a murderer who gets angry and kills someone in an impulse, because this man is meant to be educated and knowledgeable to the highest degree in the laws of the realm. Yet he's approving a scheme when he's hinting at, maybe there might be some kind of rights that maybe they might have something to do with this. Maybe they might be relevant. There might be something there which might not be able to allow me to do this, which may be the reason why the Blackwall Tunnel might have never had fines on it, since forever. Why don't they just slap a toll on the Blackwall Tunnel? Why don't they do that? Swiftly slap a toll on the Blackwall Tunnel. You'd think if they were that eager to charge people in London, they would have just put a toll on the Blackwall Tunnel. But they didn't. Why didn't they? Because they can't. Now, when they did the congestion charge in 2002, Tony Blair is a guy who is completely and totally off his rocker. He's not on this planet. I mean, we've already got illegal war crimes accusations against him from even his own MPs, George Galloway, But these men, this guy is walking around with the title of a knighthood. Now, what does that mean to the establishment of government under the king, previously the queen? We're meant to all walk around the streets proud of our institution, proud of the nation, proud of people for kindness, honour, honesty, goodness. But instead, we find that the truth is that when they break the law, when they lie, when they're dishonest, when they break the rights and the laws that say they cannot be broken, they're actually awarded. It's like giving a criminal a trophy. Well, the police are criminals because the police do things that normal people can't do. To us, it's criminal, but they get awarded. I think that when the police make a career, a vocation out of kicking doors down and smashing windows and prying into people's private affairs and going undercover and having sex with campaigners' wives and children with them undercover, right? To us, that's criminal. But to them, because they're after a bad guy, they can become a bad guy. Oh, we can break the door, we can kick a few windows in. And unfortunately, Swift believes that, we've got to raise a bit of funds for government, raise a bit of money, I'll have to undermine a few statute laws, I'll have to undermine the ancient charters and privileges, we'll have to deny Julian Assange his right to a fair trial, and so forth, without delay, stick him in prison for ages and he's been punished, right? Swift is like the corrupt police chief. In order to catch a few criminals, we'll just put a few illegal road signs out, it says in the law you can't, but, here we can. Swift is a Jimmy Savile. He's worse than Jimmy Savile because this man is imposed. There are hundreds and thousands of pounds, I think millions worth of those ULEZ fines now that people have got letters piled up on tables, hundreds of letters, fines amounting to thousands of pounds. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is saying that no American can put their hands on $1,000 at the moment. This man is the worst possible. He is worse than a pickpocket. He is worse than a car thief. He is worse than a murderer. He's approved Sadiq Khan's horrible, despicable ULEZ scheme that's misled and built up on years of Labour Party corruption. The Tories liked the idea because they knew people were going to complain about it, and even if the fines somehow get repealed by Sue Hall, they're just going to use it all for surveillance instead, and by that time we've all kicked off that, they'll need some surveillance because they've pissed everyone off. They're manufacturing crime. There is no law in England. I mean, look at Angela Ditchfield with Max Hill. It's a miracle that the Attorney General dropped those charges against Trudy Warner, right? This is a knight of the realm, but he is a knight of crime. He is awarded for his crimes. It's like it's a little bit like the police. You know, I've kicked 50 doors in, but because I put bad guys away, I'm a hero. Oh, there's a load of protesters kicking off, or there's a load of people driving around. Oh, well, we'll just, there's a rule there. These people, their entire philosophy is absolutely insane because there's writing that's the law. And the basis is that we all do what it says and we'll all get a nice pat on the head and be good, right? We can't not do what the writing says. Now, if we do what the writing says you can't do, he likes to fine us and lock us up. But then you've got the special people. If you join the special club, now they've got special rules. They can do what they want, right? And if other people are breaking the rules, they can break the rules all they want, which means that there are no rules for them effectively, right? Now, when you get into these justices, they take that to an entire new level. There's laws, and then there's laws saying that you can't change laws. You can't make laws against the laws, and you can't even make judgments against the laws. And in fact, further to that, even judgments against the laws aren't valid. Someone knew there were people such as Swift around, predators, dangerous people in the high ranks of the country, even acclaimed and awarded. And it was written into law that even if these people do these horrendous offences, then don't worry about it. It will be void because, they can't do it even if they think they have. And that is what protects us against these people. So this is, and it says evil ministers, councillors and judges who would subvert the liberties of the realm. Well, here one is. I mean, you don't need to go back to 1670. Who are these people? Who was that mayor sat in the William Penn case threatening to cut his tongue out and saying that he doesn't deserve any rights? And don't worry about it. Even if there are any rights, which we were hinting that there likely are. Well, no, actually. We'll just go into Parliament and get them removed from you. Threatening, even though they knew there were laws and rights, they're even threatening to go into Parliament and get their laws and rights removed from them. This man has been put in charge of the Boundary Commission of England. He's been rewarded, like David Cameron. David Cameron has been awarded and rewarded for lying about the driving licences and the speed limits on the vans and the national speed limit on the dual carriageways. Just lying about it. You're not even changing any laws, just getting all the information and then just switching it. Not even changing any laws, just going, just switch it. And then wipes everyone's memory, or they'll forget about it sooner or later, right? This man is going into work in offices like boundary commissions, committees. This is what Colchester Council Watch is talking about. How are these people loose in society? But when you go into a court, you got a judge sat there, oh, you're a naughty boy, you've done wrong, oh, send him down. As if we are wrong, as if we have done something wrong, as if we're not right. They're psychotic. The job. We cannot have these people in these positions. We're going to have counsellors who are just randomly selected, like the jurors. If they don't want long-term jurors who are supposed to know all the rights and privileges like they were supposed to do, we're going to have to start putting these judges and having them pulled out of the electoral register. And have them in temporary positions because they become delusional, deranged, and I think they are insane. This man is not sick, but look at him. Oh, it's Mr. Sweetman. Would you like a sugared sweet? Would you accept a sweet from a strange man? You know, oh, it's £5. He looks like the sort of person who would put the house prices up so no one could buy them and then put them back down again and then buy them himself, you know, in some kind of solicitors or estate agents. This man is a career criminal. But he is being responsible for supposedly keeping the public safe from criminals. Yet, what are we to learn from this? This is why I'm not voting this time. I'm not voting for Lib Dems because Ed Davey has taken a weird, sinister oath that he can see no wrong what the king can do. There can be no wrong. He cannot imagine, comprehend, or conceive of anything wrong that the king could possibly even do. So, if the king did do something wrong, how can you possibly conceive it? These people are... There's something wrong with you in the head. If any person went into a court in this country and they were stood before a judge and they said, I can't understand any wrongdoing I may do. I don't know any wrong. I don't know what wrong is. You know, that's for children. Children don't know the difference between right and wrong, which is why they can't be prosecuted, right? But this guy is a bona fide fruitcake, yet supposedly he is educated, learned, intelligent, with, you know, academic qualifications. It didn't take me long to work out, right? It didn't take me long to work out that those fines in London are against the Great Charters and there isn't meant to be any tolls by river or land in London, and it's one of the established liberties, right? Because anyone who would be interested in that would, if you can get hold of the laws. Now, when you start getting knighthoods and judge appointments and so forth, if you're not interested in law history, if that doesn't interest you, most of these people you would have thought would be interested in law history, the history of law, because they're academics, unless they're far too busy and only come out of college or university and doing, you know, pumpernickel cases for, you know, some... well, I've read a few of the cases. To be honest, I've read a bit of some of the recent full documents that have come out of the courts, and they're not that complicated. I think that the standard... I think that it's true that the standard has dropped, just like the standard in films and movies. When you read some of the books on law from the 1800s, and 1900s, that they're very, very particular, intelligent, quirky. Now it's almost like, these people have got a part-time job as a coffee barista or making milkshakes or something like that. It doesn't cut through to critical thinking. It doesn't cut through to critical scrutiny, self-reflection. It's not up to the standard, but I think it's more than that. I think this man is affiliated with political parties and long-term future schemes. People who, Knights of the Realm, Tony Blair, Cynic Clegg, they're in on this globalist takeover plan, and these cameras for ULEZ are part of it. And as far as I'm concerned, he's not only just encouraging Sadiq Khan. This man is undermining the liberties of the realm. He's doing the undoable. He says you can't do it, and he even says if they do it, it's invalid, void, of no effect. And then here comes Sue Hall. Here I come to save the day. Sue Hall, vote me in and I'll save you all, Wonder Woman. I'll just click my fingers. Don't worry about Sadiq Khan and Judge Swift, because I'll just click my fingers and it'll all be gone. I'll give all the fines back. Five councils came together to challenge Sadiq Khan. He must think that he's God. No wonder that he's, withstanding all these, protests and supporters. I got them to put a bill in Parliament, because they weren't doing anything about all those petition signatures, which afford a resolution from Parliament. And then they put a bill down and Labour voted against it. Yet the whole thing's illegal. Not just that, it's a tax on personal property, it's not just a road tax, it's a tax on personal property. There's no doubt whatsoever. All this rests on the Blackwall Tunnel. It all rests on the Blackwall Tunnel because we know they love fines. Why didn't they put a fine on the Blackwall Tunnel before the congestion charge? Because they couldn't, right? So the London congestion charge was, it's like parking, stopping. If you park or stop, then we can charge you. It's not a toll, it's congestion, no one's moving, everyone's stopped moving, so that can't be a toll. Well, it is a toll, it is a charge, and it's our misfortune that we didn't have the internet back then, the connectivity we have back then, and all of the channels and stations that we have back then, and the not access to as much data. There was research on the internet, there was information on the internet in 2002, but nowhere near like the thoroughness and extent and amount of the information that you can type in now to research something. It wasn't as extensive. It was more for private websites and forums and stuff. People weren't coming together as much in these groups like on Facebook and YouTube, and not paying attention to the TV. I mean, the BBC wouldn't. You would have thought Panorama would have called them out on it. You would have thought that ITV or Channel 4 would have called them out on it. But no, because unfortunately the House of Lords, the BBC, they're all kept in line with the plan, because BBC awoke and the BBC like this surveillance state plan, clearly. Look at this guy. Look at this. Oh, you wouldn't hurt a man with glasses. It's like Mr. Sweetman. Julian Assange has revealed very serious things going on with the army, military, concerning that people need to know about. And under British law, actually, the information that's revealed under the Secrets Act, if the public actually would deem that information they should have really have known about it, or that there really was a right that they should have known about it, then it's not actually an offence under that act. And, Assange has been in there all that time now, which is ridiculous. But, it's upsetting. It's upsetting that people like this, right, are the actual criminals. It's upsetting to even, it plays with your mind and your soul, because many people have been actually investigating the government and investigating these people doing these corrupt practices, and when the ideals that they put forward, these people are here to protect us from bad people. They're to protect us from corruption, from racketeering, from forgeries, from thieves. But it's almost like now, it's kind of like these characters are now almost the opposite of everything that we thought, that we believed in. They're actually corrupt. They're denying the rights and what it says is written down. They either don't believe in them. I think they do the career for that long, and they have that many, crooks and vagabonds going through, and there's that much solicitors doing, deals, test cases, framing it all the way they want to frame it. It's so corrupt. It's just like the medical consultant who has reached the highest level of medical consultancy. He was on, I think was it on Campbell or on Vobes the other day? I know he was on Neil Oliver, actually, and he said, I've worked my way up through the system. I've been, the highest level surgeon, consultant, pharmacist, and I've got all this insight, and now I've got to the top, and now I'm sat in a meeting, and they're actually not trying to save these people. They're actually just feeding the illness, and they're making money out of it, and they're not giving them the proper treatments. And he's turned away from it. He's like, this is wrong. What we're doing to these people is wrong. It is corrupt. We're not helping them get better. We're just giving them tablets. That is professional evidence on Neil Oliver from a person in the highest level, or one of the highest levels in the medical industry, consultant surgeon, right? And this is it. He's saying that his own field of practice is corrupt. It is crooked. It is not helping the public. And this, unfortunately, is Swift. And he's been awarded and rewarded. He's now leading the Boundary Commission. A nice little cushy job, things that aren't too serious, so he can put his little mind to rest. It's only boundaries and woodlands and forests, and voting in elections to, figure out who can win. Change the boundaries on the voting in elections. You can figure out how they can beat their opponents, in elections unfairly by cheating, Swift must go to prison. He must go to prison for a long time, maybe the rest of his life. He is undermined the liberties of London, and he could have put a stop to that corruption. When he was doing his research for the case, they're meant to do some research around the area of law, and he should have said, no, this is illegal. We can't have toll charges within London by road or river. Or on personal property. This is charging people on what type of property they've got, bit of what type of car you've got. If you've got this type of car, your own personal property, then we'll tax you on it, right? More than someone else even. It's not only a tax on personal property, it's a discriminative tax on personal property, and it is a road tax. And that should have been it. But he couldn't do it, because he would have had to have unravelled the whole congestion charge, and then why didn't they stop it earlier? Why didn't someone pull Tony Blair on it? These people dig themselves into so much trouble that it would make someone who was illegally selling paper clips, even someone, selling, plastic gems made out to be real gems. It's only money at the end of the day. But you might say that with the congestion charge, but they're actually lying about our rights. They're lying about the truth of the law, and they're meant to be the protectors of the law and rights. The oath of the jurat was meant to be to protect the franchise liberties and and privileges of the realm. Maybe Swift was using his privilege. Maybe he thought, I can't be sent to prison for this, or I can't be prosecuted, right? I can only be removed. So if he's got nothing to fear. Yet, great offences are meant to be tried in Parliament, and you can't have a pardon against an impeachment by Parliament. Gordon Brown as well, after the Blair government, these people were meant to be impeached by Parliament, but then, no, we will not have any of that. We're going to just send people to the Supreme Court instead. Even our right to petition the House of Lords, over these cases, they claim they've taken that away, but they haven't even taken that away. They took a fender off the front of it, a bit of plastic off the side of it, Appeal Like Jurisdiction Act or whatever, which did nothing other than a spoiler, it's like, having all your childhood, cartoon heroes like, He-Man or Lion-O or, even, Will-O-the-Wisp, all these nice, cute, cuddly, innocent things. It's like them all, well, Mavis Cruitt is really advocating, overeating, surely obesity. It's if they wanted to see a change in the world for good, then why didn't they stop lying? Instead, they have thought, right, we're going to stop everyone else from breaking the law by us breaking the law and by taking their rights away. That's the wrong way to go about doing it. When the instruction manual says that these are the rights that have to be upheld, these are the laws that we need to keep in force, in place, you follow the instruction manual. Instead, Swift is like a man who uses a vacuum cleaner, to clean a swimming pool, or, wash his car with soil, or, he doesn't follow the instructions. I don't even know if he understands the instructions. There's something wrong with Swift. Yet we have people in front of Swift who, they got angry and hit someone, or, whatever it is, they were tormented or tortured by the local council, so they went round and, and kicked off about it. Usually victims, people who are being victimised by people like Swift who, advocate taking all their money off them, giving it all to Elon Musk, and Bill Gates and Rishi Sunak. People who have been robbed by the rich, and not only robbed of their money. I have nothing but my sword. This is our river, and any man who wishes to cross it must pay a tax. I have nothing but my sword. I have nothing but my rights. I have nothing but my rights. Not in London, I think Swift would charge you for, helping an old lady across the road. Look at Swift. Isn't Swift the man who would help an old lady across the road? Oh, it's Swift. There's an old lady. Oh, it's okay, Mr. Swift. I'll help you across the road, madam. Would you like an assistance, Or is Swift the man, actually, who is stood there thinking it would be a good idea to charge old ladies, to get across the road? A £10 crossing tax for old ladies. Maybe they should charge old ladies at pedestrian crossings, every time you push the button on, to wait for the red man, and the green man to say walk. Maybe, the new, maybe it scans the old woman, scans her digital ID in her pocket and charges her £5 to cross the road, Oh, it's £5 to cross this road in London, No blades, no bows, leave your weapons here. This is it. I think Swift would. Swift would charge old ladies to cross the road if he could get away with it. If Swift could make money out of charging old ladies to cross the road, he would charge them. He would probably charge them £20. It's £20 to cross this road, madam. And if she's got a shopping bag with her, even more. This is a type of thing that Swift believes in, taking advantage out of those who have a disadvantage. People who are financially disadvantaged, something needs to be done about these people. We either need to have a random electoral register for judges, and then, they get some basic education on rights. But this is the thing, these judges are acting like we don't have any rights, or if they don't know the process and procedures. Even the Attorney General and the Director of Public Prosecutions missing out the very act that it says to use. It's like the Walking Across the Road Act, but instead they don't use the Walking Across the Road Act. They use the, Tunnelling in Torquay Act or whatever. It says on the instructions, the Town and Country Planning Act for the placement of advertisements. So why is it not used? Why is the police chief not using it? Why is the Crown Prosecutor not using it? Why is the Attorney General not using it? Why is the judge not knowing it in his basic research before the case? We need to know the answer. There can only be two answers. Either he doesn't know it, so he's not qualified. He's not qualified intellectually to do the job. Or he's regarding it in total and utter contempt. Just like in the 1670 William Penn case, where he says, there might be some certain special rights here, but I don't think that you deserve them. Or don't worry about it, we'll get them changed so you won't have them anymore. And by the way, I'll cut your tongue out. I'll put my mark on you. Right? Why has nothing changed since 1670? Why have these justices not changed since 1670? Why do they continue to persist in undermining the rule of law? But not only the rule of law, the rule of rules, the rule that rules the rules, the charters that rule the laws that cannot be changed, overwritten, or even the orders they make are not even valid. And then along comes Susan Hall and the pantomime horse. Don't worry, here I come to save the day, Sue Hall. It's like a tag team. We're being tag teamed so they can get in. Don't worry, it's okay, we won't find people anymore. We'll just use it for surveillance instead because there are some scary people out there. These people are in front of cameras. They've got an audience. Some of these cases are broadcast, filmed, not just a recorder writing it down with a pen, but on an audio recording cassette. They're in the spotlight of spotlights. It's not even the O2 Arena. It's not like pop music. This is meant to be professional academia in the spotlight. Even then, it's almost kind of like scripted. It's like a setup. It's like some kind of pass-me-a legal case, framed theatre, like on Neighbours or Home and Away. He knows he's been handed the case. He knows Tony Blair put the congestion charge on illegally. He knows it's been going on since 2002. Now's his chance to be an honorary citizen of the realm of England, of the laws. Instead, he decides to take the side of the corrupt Norman Frenchies, weird cult oaths, stealing treasure, knowing no evil, knowing no wrong, even though, someone could be doing some wrong. A racketeering kingpin in corruption, which facades to be the bastion of society, of law and order, but instead it is the pinnacle of evil.